Hello everybody, StarArc here, and welcome into the follow-up to my upgrading Phase 4 of the MCU video from a couple months ago. In this video, I'll be going over my reworked version of Phase 5. If you haven't seen that previous video, I'll link it at the top of the screen right now so you can check it out, because my version of Phase 5 follows my version of Phase 4, not the version of Phase 4 we got in real life. Also, in that video, I discussed the biggest problems people have with the MCU recently and the rules I created to solve those problems. I'm going to keep following those rules as I continue into Phase 5. Thanks to Adam Brickstreet and Ultimate Spider-Man 270 for your comments, and thanks again to the Black Lion here on YouTube for inspiring my rewrite. Make sure to check out that channel. But anyway, let's get started. First up, What If Season 2 will air from winter to spring of 2028. Once again, this season will have to be tweaked a little so God of Stories Loki can be the narrator. I think most of the basic what if premises from the real season 2 can stay the same though. I will axe the Happy Hogan episode since it was a pretty weak episode and the season will air after Christmas anyway. Also, the finale will be rewritten so Supreme Strange is not the villain. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will release in May 2028. It'll stay exactly the same, but the Star-Lord will return tease won't be included because I like the way his storyline wrapped up at the end of the movie, so he won't appear again. Ironheart will air from summer to fall of 2028. It'll follow Riri Williams after the events of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, trying to balance her responsibilities as both a college student and a superhero. The Marvels will release in November 2028. It'll have a few tweaks so it's consistent with my version of Ms. Marvel Season 1 in my Phase 4. Also, Captain Marvel will sacrifice herself instead of Monica, aka Photon, and she will actually die instead of landing in another universe. I don't hate the character of Captain Marvel, I just need to keep getting rid of heroes because there are so many. Finally, the surviving members of Team Saber from Avengers Secret Invasion will make appearances in this movie. Young Avengers will air from winter to spring of 2029. The team will start out with Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, now known as Hawkeye, and Stature. Each episode will show them recruiting a new member or two. The first episode will be Patriot, the second episode will be Ironheart, the third episode will be America Chavez, the fourth episode will be Kid Loki, who America met once in another timeline, but when they try going to his timeline they find out it was pruned, so they have to save him from the void. And then the fifth episode will be Billy and Tommy Maximoff, who America also helps them reach. Once the whole team is assembled, the final episode will show them working together to take down a threat. And I should also mention that the Young Avengers will be led by White Vision. By the time this series is filmed, most of these actors won't be very young anymore, however they'll still be young in comparison to the regular Avengers, so I think the title still works. Thunderbolts will release in May 2029. The movie will start with a squad made up of Leapfrog, Red Guardian, Sentry, Swordsman, Taskmaster, and Batroc the Leaper, who's still alive because he wasn't in Captain America and the White Wolf, my version of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Anyway, the squad is on a mission for Val when Sentry turns and kills the rest of the team. Val then must create a new team of reluctant recruits including Abomination, Ghost, US Agent, White Wolf, White Widow, and Baron Zemo to take down Sentry and clean up her mess. Once the team defeats Sentry, they discover that Val has been fired and replaced with Thunderbolt Ross, who gives the team their name. Spider-Man Freshman Year will air from summer to fall of 2029, and it will be an animated series telling the origin story of Spider-Man from the main MCU timeline, Earth 616. Since this is a prequel to Spider-Man Homecoming, this will be the only entry in Phase 5 that doesn't take place in-universe when it comes out of universe. Captain America Brave New World will release in November 2029. In this movie, Captain America will be forced to fight former friends and foes when the Thunderbolts are tasked with apprehending him. Eventually, Captain America and the Thunderbolts team up to defeat the real threat, Thunderbolt Ross, who is secretly the Red Hulk. Eternal Season 2 will air from winter to spring of 2030. It will follow Thena, Makkari, Druig, Eros, and don't forget Pip the Troll, trying to rescue their fellow Eternals from the celestial Arishem, who is bent on destroying Earth. War Machine will release in May 2030. It's going to focus on James Rhodes, aka War Machine, who was never a Skrull by the way, as he keeps dangerous technology from falling into the hands of Tony Stark's former rival, Justin Hammer. Ms. Marvel Season 2 will air from summer to fall of 2030. This season will focus on Kamala Khan's family trip to Pakistan, which wasn't included in my version of Season 1. While there, she'll face off against the Jinn, and she'll discover the truth about her ancestry and her powers. Spider-Man No Way Home will release in December 2030. Like the real No Way Home, this movie will include the other two Spider-Men and the villains from past movies. I'm also going to add Topher Grace's Venom from Spider-Man 3 to round out the multiversal Sinister Six. Since I already resolved Peter's secret identity problem in Spider-Man Close to Home, the storyline of my No Way Home will have to be different than the real one. For example, the villains will have to be brought over to the main timeline in a different way, but Doctor Strange will still be involved. Also, America Chavez will bring the Spidey variants to the main timeline, which was the original plan anyway. And of course, the whole memory wipe ending will not happen. Moon Knight Season 2 will air from winter to spring of 2031. Mark Spector and Stephen Grant will return, and they must now reconcile with Jake Lockley, a third alter who remains loyal to their former master, the god Khonshu. The Mighty Thor will release in May 2031. The movie begins with Jane Foster battling cancer. Her search for a cure will lead her to New Asgard, where she will accidentally become the Mighty Thor. Other Thor characters like Valkyrie, Korg, and Meek will also return in this movie. She-Hulk Season 2 will air from summer to fall of 2031. It'll once again star Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, as she continues defending superpowered clients, all while being a superhero herself. This season will end with the fourth wall-breaking finale that I cut from Season 1. Shang-Chi, Master of the Ten Rings, will release in November 2031. This is going to be a team-up movie with Shang-Chi and Iron Fist. Also, all the supporting characters who survived the first Shang-Chi will return. Agatha will air from winter to spring of 2032. Obviously, Agatha All Along hasn't come out yet, so I'm not exactly sure how my version will be different, but I do know Wiccan won't be in my version since he's already part of the Young Avengers. Black Panther War for Wakanda will release in May 2032. In this movie, the people of Wakanda and Talokan must unite to defend their homes from a mutual threat. Daredevil Born Again will air from summer to fall of 2032. In this follow-up to the Netflix Daredevil series, Matt Murdock will return as the titular vigilante. Supporting characters from the original series will also make appearances, including Karen Page, Foggy Nelson, Kingpin, Punisher, Elektra, and Bullseye. Other street-level characters like Echo, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Spider-Man will make brief cameos to set up a new Defenders series. Speaking of setting things up, a post-credit scene will tease Wilson Fisk running for mayor of New York City. Blade will release in October 2032. Of course, this movie will focus on a half-human, half-vampire named Blade who protects the world from evil vampires. There will also be a post-credit scene with Wong to set up the Midnight Suns series. Midnight Suns will air from winter to spring of 2033. Agatha Harkness, Black Knight, Moon Knight, Scarlet Scarab, Wong, Werewolf by Night, Elsa Bloodstone, Man-Thing, and Blade will make up the Midnight Suns, a team that fights supernatural threats the Avengers and the world as a whole are unaware of. Avengers Quantumania will release in May 2033. I've thought about the storyline of this one a little too much, so I'm going to go down a long rabbit hole for a minute. The movie will begin with TVA Minutemen on what they think is a routine mission. They're going to the Quantum Realm to deal with a He Who Remains variant that recently popped up on their radar. Once they arrive, they find Kang the Conqueror, who has already, conquered the Quantum Realm. He is far more powerful than previous He Who Remains variants the TVA has faced, which is proven when Kang and his army wipe out the Minutemen. Back on Earth 616, Scott Lang walks down the street in a scene very similar to this one in the real Quantumania. Even though Scott isn't the leader of the Avengers, he will be the lead character in this movie. Eventually, he arrives at a restaurant for Cassie's birthday party. Hope, Hank, Janet, and Luis are also there. With Cassie all grown up, Scott reminisces about the fun they used to have when she was young and wishes he could go back to then. Just then, Doctor Strange's astral form appears out of nowhere, saying he needs Scott and Hope. The couple joins their fellow Avengers on a mission where we're reintroduced to all the team members. The Avengers are now made up of Captain America, War Machine, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, the Wasp, Shang-Chi, She-Hulk, Black Panther, Mighty Thor, and Photon. When the Avengers return to their headquarters, Paradox, the new head of the TVA, is waiting for them. He says the TVA needs their help to defeat a threat, which we know, of course, is Kang. Sam asks why the TVA chose the Avengers, and Paradox says they've come highly recommended by his boss. Eventually, the Avengers agree to venture into the Quantum Realm to fight Kang. When they arrive to the Quantum Realm, the Avengers are invited to a feast with Kang, who presents himself as a kind and benevolent ruler. He also admits to being a big fan of the Avengers, particularly Ant-Man, because he discovered time travel in his timeline and saved the universe. Rhodey asks how he knows so much about them. Kang explains that he once had a ship that allowed him to travel through space, time, and other universes. Because of this, he has seen everything, past, present, and future. However, since the Quantum Realm is outside of space and time, he doesn't know what the future holds here. Jen asks Kang why he's here anyway. Kang Kang explains, a multiversal variant of myself used to watch over the sacred timeline. Recently, he met an unfortunate end. His death released every other version of me upon the multiverse, including myself. I've seen the future. The multiverse ends because of me. A lot of me's. The Council of Kangs. I wanted to stop this future from happening, so I confronted the Council. Of course, this made them feel threatened. Unbeknownst to me, they sabotaged my ship. It brought me here, and my multiversal engine core was set to blow once I landed. They trapped me here, the one place that could hold me. If I don't get out of this place to stop them, the Council of Kangs will destroy the entire multiverse. Kang then explains that a lower level of the quantum realm called Mirwood houses a special quantum energy that could power his ship without the engine core. Kang knows the Avengers' quantum suits would be able to shrink them down small enough to enter Mirwood, so he makes them an offer. If they go to Mirwood and bring him back a sample of quantum energy, he will pay them back with something only he can offer: time. Half the Avengers accept Kang's offer. Scott because he wants to go back to when Cassie was young, Shuri because she wants time back with her brother, Jane because she wants to go back to before her cancer diagnosis, and Shang-Chi and Monica, who both want time back with their respective mothers. After those Avengers leave, I'll call them Team A. Kang commands his minion, MODOK, to capture the other Avengers. I'll call them Team B. However, they escape and find themselves among the citizens of the quantum realm. Besides Kang, who is of course an outsider, there are only alien-like beings living in the quantum realm. The citizens explain that Kang is not the kind ruler he seems, and the quantum realm was better before he conquered it. Team B convinces the citizens to revolt against Kang and his army. Meanwhile, Team A journeys into Mirwood. Eventually, they acquire a sample of quantum energy. They bring it to Kang, who uses it to power up his ship. Then Scott touches Kang's throne and sees his memories. He witnesses Kang destroying many timelines and killing innocent people, even variant Avengers. He also wanted to take over the Council of Kangs, which is why they banished him. Team A realizes that Kang doesn't want to escape the quantum realm to save the multiverse, he wants to conquer it. They try stopping Kang, but with his powers restored, he freezes them in time. Kang orders them to be imprisoned and says they shall be trapped here just as I was. While Kang gathers his troops to come with him, Team B attacks with the Quantum Realm citizens. They free Team A and a large battle ensues. The Avengers plus the Quantum Realm citizens versus Kang, MODOK, and his army. Eventually, Kang and everyone who serves him are defeated, and the Avengers leave the Quantum Realm. Back at Avengers headquarters, Paradox arrives to thank the team for their help, and he says he'll be in touch. Just like the real Quantum Mania, this movie would end like it began, with Scott walking down the streets of San Francisco. Scott still has the existential crisis about what Kang said about his variants ending the multiverse, but he brushes it off. After that, he arrives to Cassie's rescheduled birthday party. He promises he'll never miss another one of Cassie's birthdays because he wants to savor every moment he can with her, even if she's all grown up. And then a post-credit scene will reveal the Council of Kangs. Alright, moving on from that, the new Defenders will air from summer to fall of 2033. The team consists of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Echo, and Spider-Man. The villain will be Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, who's running for mayor of New York City on an anti-superhero platform. Other characters from Daredevil Born Again may have small cameos as well. Finally, Avengers Kang Dynasty will release in November 2033. In this movie, the Avengers must face off against the Council of Kangs, who are determined to conquer the entire multiverse. During the final battle, the TVA portals in many heroes from alternate timelines, including Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man variants and mutants from Fox's X-Men movies, to help the Avengers battle an army of Kangs. In the end, the Avengers will sacrifice themselves to win the day, knowing their timeline is in the good hands of other teams like the Eternals, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Young Avengers, the Thunderbolts, the Midnight Suns, and the Defenders. We'll even see a montage of these teams taking on Kang variants. A post-credit scene will reveal a 10-year-old boy with special abilities named Charles Xavier, setting up the next saga of the MCU, the Mutant Saga. Maybe I'll make a video about this saga one day, we shall see. Also, I would still have X-Men 97 released during Phase 5, I just didn't include it in this video since it's not part of the main MCU timeline or storyline. And if you want to know how to build all the custom minifigures I showed in this video, check out the Google Doc down in the description. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for this different kind of video. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you think of my version of Phase 5? Is there anything you would do differently? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you have any suggestions for videos I should make in the future, please let me know those in the comments as well, and I'll give you a shout out if I use your idea. Anyway, come back on Saturday for a usual custom minifigure video. See ya then.